शाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण। जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारे जय गिरिवरधारे जय जय गोपी जना वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारे जय गिरिवरधारे जय जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रज जनरंजना जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रज जनरंजना जय यमुना तीरवनचारे जय कुंज विहारे जय जय यमुना तीरवनचारे जय कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारे जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारे जय गिरिवरधारे जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारे जय गिरिवरधारे जय यशोदनंदन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय यशोदनंदन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय यमुना तीरवनचारे जय कुंज विहारे जय जय यमुना तीरावनचारे जय कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय ओम शिवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna. We are reading from Canto, 9th chapter of the prayers by Bhishma Dev. You, okay, you have it. Yudhito Rago Rajo Vidhum Ravishva कचलुलित श्रमवारि अलङ्कृतास्ये मम निशितशरैर्विविध्यमान क्वचि विलसत्कवचे अस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा युदितो सुरगोरजो विधूम्रविश्व कचलुलितश्रमवारि अलङ्कृतास्ये शरैर्विविध्यमान क्वचि विलसत्कवचे अस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा युदितरगरजो विधूम्रविश्व कचलुलितश्रमवारि अलङ्कृतास्ये मम निशितशरैर्विविध्यमान क्वचि विलसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा क्वचि विलसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा मम निशितशरैर्विविध्यमान क्वचि विलसत्कवचे कृष्ण आत्मा युदितरगोरजो विधूम्रविश्व कचलुलितश्रमवारि अलङ्कृतास्ये विद्यमान Yudhi on the battlefield, Suraga, horses, Rajaha, dust, Vidhumra, turned an ashen color, Vishwak, waving, Kacha, hair, Lulita, scattered, Ramavari, perspiration, Alankrita, decorated with Asye, unto the face, Mama, mine, Nishita, sharp, Taraihi, by the arrows, Vibidhyamana, pierced by, Swachi, in the skin, Vilasat, enjoying pleasure, Kavache, protecting armor, Astu, let there be, Krishna, unto Sri Krishna, Atma, mind. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Translation. On the battlefield, where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of his friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hooves of the horse. And because of his labor, heaps of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna, the absolute form, eternity, bliss, and knowledge. As such, transcendental loving service to the Lord is one of the five principal relations, namely Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. That is neutrality, servitorship, fraternity, parental affection, and conjugal love, is graciously accepted by the Lord when offered to the Lord in genuine love. And Sri Bhishma Dev is a great devotee of the Lord in the relation of servitorship. Thus, his throwing of sharp arrows at the transcendental body of the Lord is as good as the worship of another devotee who throws soft roses upon it. It appears that Bhishma Dev is repenting the action he committed against the person of the Lord. But factually, the Lord's body was not at all pained due to his transcendental existence. His body is not matter. He himself and his body are complete spiritual identity. Spirit is never pierced, burned, fried, moistened, etc. This is vividly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So also it is explained in Skanda Purana. It is said there that the spirit is always uncontaminated and indestructible. It cannot be distressed nor can it be dried up. When Lord Vishnu in his incarnation appears before us, he seems to be like one of the conditioned souls, materially encaged, just to bewilder the asuras or the non-believers, who are always alert to kill the Lord. Even from the very beginning of his appearance, Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna, and Ravana wanted to kill Rama, because foolishly they were unaware of the fact that the Lord is never killed, for the spirit is never annihilated. Therefore, Bhishma Dev's piercing of the body of Lord Krishna is a sort of bewildering problem for the non-devotee atheists. But those who are devotees or liberated souls are not bewildered. Bhishma Dev appreciated the all-merciful attitude of the Lord because he did not leave Arjuna alone. Although he was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhishma Dev, nor was he reluctant to come before Bhishma's deathbed, even though he was ill-treated by him on the battlefield. Bhishma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, a great acharya and devotee in the humor of conjugal love with the Lord, remarks very saliently in this regard. He says that the wounds created on the body of the Lord by the sharpened arrows of Bhishma Dev were as pleasing to the Lord as the biting of a fiancé who bites the Lord's body, directed by a strong sense of sex desire. Such biting by the opposite sex is never taken as a sign of enmity, even if there is wound on the body. Therefore, the fighting as an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and his pure devotee, Sri Bhishma Dev, was not at all mundane. Besides that, since the Lord's body and the Lord are identical, there is no possibility of wounds in the absolute body. The apparent wounds caused by the sharpened arrows are misleading to the common man, but one who has little absolute knowledge can understand the transcendental exchange in the chivalrous relation. The Lord was perfectly happy with the wounds caused by the sharpened arrows of Bhishma Dev. The word Vibhidhyamana is significant because the Lord's skin is non-different from the Lord. Because our skin is different from our soul. In our case, the word Vibhidhyamana, or being bruised and cut, would not have been quite different. Transcendental bliss is of different varieties, and the variety of activities in the mundane world is but a perverted reflection. Because everything in the mundane world is qualitatively mundane. It is full of inebrities, whereas in the absolute realm, because everything is of the same absolute nature, there are varieties of enjoyment without inebriety. The Lord enjoyed the wounds created by his great devotee, Bhishma Dev. Because Bhishma Dev is a devotee, in the chivalrous relation, he fixed up his mind on Krishna, and that's really key. Namaste, Saraswati, Gaurani, Dhanyawadi, Ananda, Vedveda Gadadhara, Shiva, Sadi, Gaurava, Khan, Sakti, Krupa, Deva, Sakti, and Bhavani. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram. So, the expression of rasa. Rasa we call emotional thing, especially in the Supreme Lord and the Book. And here, Virya Rasa has been displayed to the almost the highest extent between the Supreme Lord and the devotee Krishna. So this Bhagavatam, the special feature of the Bhagavatam of this Rasa, usually the tendency of humans is to dharma, general society is to do dharma. And whatever they get from that wealth, they use it for karma. And when they get, the artha as well, right? They get artha. Then what they use it for karma to satisfy their senses, to satisfy their needs. And then when they get sick of it, they go towards moksha. This is the typical trajectory of human society almost all over the world. They all get frustrated after a certain point and they take up towards some form of moksha activities. However, Krishna says right in the beginning of the beginning of Bhagavatam, Dharma Prodhita Kaito. He says, Hare Krishna. He says, throw away this cheating religion because Srimad Bhagavatam is Vedyam Shastra. And so, see, Shastra has to be always understood as a whole concept. So why does Srimad Bhagavatam declare all other processes as cheating this any other Shastra? Because we go on for everlasting cheating means you want something and you don't get that. You go to a store and you say, I want some product, and they give you another product, I think you're cheating. So because everyone is approaching the Vedic literature in a form of for happiness. Someone is going to Jyotisha for happiness. Someone is going for Vastu consultant for happiness. Someone is going to Ayurveda for happiness. No one is going to any of these literatures for sadness. Everyone wants to be happy. But they don't get everlasting happiness. You don't get it because Srimad Bhagavatam gives Vedyam Vastavam, absolute truth, Shivadam, welfare for all. And how does he do it? By uprooting the threefold miseries. Vedyam Vastavam, Shivadam. So there are no, so it's uprooted. So and then Kimva Parairi, so why do you need any scripture? That means there's no other scripture giving absolute truth. There is the Upanishad. They also talk about the absolute truth. There is the Vedanta, Veda, so many other scriptures giving about the absolute truth. So they all do. But the Srimad Bhagavatam especially has this one more quality and it gives it a unique position. And that unique position, Rasa, Rasa Tattva. Compared to any other Shastra, that's why he talks about Nigama Kalpataro Galitam Phalam. It's the Galitam Phalam in the tree of Vedic knowledge. A farmer usually knows he plants the tree, all the fruits. He knows there's the Upanishad, the fruit of the Upanishad, the fruit of Veda, the fruit of Purushasukta, the fruit of this. And then he finally finds out the ripened fruit also. Right? He will know, oh, this is raw, this is right. It's not like he just blindly goes to the right fruit. We are educated about all these fruits. That's why we know how to pick the right fruit on a tree. You understand what I'm saying? So you go to the ripened fruit, the Shukhamukadamrita, the fruit coming from this. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the tree of knowledge, Vedic desire. So So he says, drink that ripens fruit. Many scriptures give absolute truth and something about religion, but only Srimad Bhagavatam, to the highest extent, mixes that absolute truth with the nectarian juice of rasa. So every katha in Srimad Bhagavatam is told specifically to bring out a certain rasa, the emotional exchange of relationship between Krishna and the devotee, and bring them to the forefront. Actually, if you read this katha of Prahalad Nasimha, even other Puranas, Vishnu Purana, this Purana, or that Purana. But if you see in those Puranas, Lord Nrsimhadev is glorified more. Like Vishnu Purana, Lord Nrsimhadev is glorified more. Whereas you come to the Bhagavatam, out of the 10 chapters, 7 chapters is about Prahlad. So the emotional exchange, the devotees, they are given more prominence because of the devotion. And this rasa is especially understood by the Rasikas, especially in the Gaudiya Parampara, because through the lips of Sukadeva Goswami and his Parampara, we hear Sukamukad and Rasa. So from the lips of Sukadeva Goswami in his Parampara, and all these Rasikas, they are various, and whoever you take, all Rasikas, they are all relished and served that Bhagavatam to a higher extent through these rasa. And the Supreme Lord is Akila Rasamritamurti. Give me a nectar of devotion. First sloka starts with Akila Rasamritamurti. He is full in rasa. He is the reservoir of all pleasure, in which exist all the mellows of devotional service. Primarily, mellows are the Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. And the secondary rasas is more of Virya, Hasya, laughter, so many other things. 7 secondary rasas. And Bhishma Dev was primarily situated in the Dasya rasa. So there's Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So he's in Dasya rasa. But it doesn't mean he doesn't have a very well aware. The Supreme Lord has created his existence in a such way to enjoy for his own pleasure. Everything is for his pleasure. It's not like one is higher than the other. He wants to relish an emotional exchange in Bhakya. He wants to relish an emotional exchange in Vatsalya Bhav. And so if you see the first 9 cantos primarily talk about devotees mostly in Bhakya Bhav, because to bring about the consciousness of the first rasa. And then he goes starts 10th canto, starts to go on to other Bhakya. So here Bhishmadev, after instructing Yudhishthir Maharaj on various kinds of dharma, you know, it's not like Yudhishthir Maharaj is not aware of all these dharma. He felt dharma. So he instructs great Rajarshi like uh, Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira, as you know, in the first canto, there's nice verse talks about Ajata Satravada. First, it talks about Titikshava, Sadhava, Karunika. That's in that verse. He fits all those categories. He has no enemy, tolerant, everything. And such a person is also taking advice of the Krishna for Loka Sangra. For Loka Sangra, because everything goes by sometimes in a statistical majority. He has to set the example for Loka Sangra. So Krishna utilizes his pure devotees even to set the right example for those who may not be qualified for pure devotion service. Because the pure devotees are most malleable to the desires of people. They will cooperate with him. If his enemies, they will not cooperate, right? And they don't mind being judged by people. They don't mind being judged by people. I don't mind being criticized. I will get criticized from the people of the world, but I will do it because Krishna wants. I will do it as a service to the Krishna. Mundane morality, I may be criticized, and I may be criticized forever, but doing for the pleasure of Krishna. And they're given that opportunity. For them, they're waiting for an opportunity to satisfy Krishna. Even that if that means they are individually criticized or misjudged. Because Krishna is pleased. After sharing all this dharma to Yudhishthir Maharaj, then he becomes silent. He wanted his own private time. to leave his body in Krishna consciousness. And then he begins his prayers by praising the Lord. And if you see, they all praise the Lord through the form of stuti. And they all express their emotional exchange, their love, their fond remembrance of the Lord through stuti, in the form of some prayer, in the form of shloka. So while he was on his deathbed, the Supreme Lord is right next to him, right? The Supreme Lord is right next to him. But he is not thinking about the Supreme Lord there. He's thinking about Krishna as part. Krishna is right next to him. You can see him. They're wearing ornaments. They're like this. No. In the 33 verse, the previous verse, he said, Ratirastu me anavadya, without desire for any fruitive results, may I be attracted to whom? Vijaya Sakhe. Who's that Vijaya Sakhe? Unto the friend of Arjuna. The friend of Vijaya Sakhe, unto the friend. And who is that person? Kamala Varanam. Kamala Varanam. You know, that person who, and then he goes on to describe about, little about that Krishna, who is the intimate friend of Arjuna, who appeared with this transcendental body on this earth, which resembles the bluish color of Tamal tree. His body attracts in the three planetary systems. So he goes on there. So he is thinking of that Parthasarthi Krishna. And then he comes to this verse, Yuditoragarajo vidhum ravishva kacha lulita shramavāri alankritāsye mama nishita sharer vididhyamana vachi vilasakka vache su Krishna Atma. So Krishna astu Atma. Atma in Shastra is used very widely. Sometimes it is used to describe the mind, sometimes it is used to describe the Jivatma, sometimes it is used to describe the Paramatma, and sometimes it's not. So it depends how contextually it is used. Krishna astu Atma. So now Bhishma saying, may my mind concentrate on Krishna. He doesn't say, may my mind concentrate on you. May it concentrate on you. May my mind concentrate on that Krishna. He's almost referring to Krishna as a third person. You can just say, may my mind concentrate on you. Right? He's referring to yes, Krishna astu Atma. May my mind focus on Krishna. But which Krishna? Alankritas, which is decorating his face. Alankritasya Vishwakata, with wavy hair, scattered hair. Usually hair should not be wavy and scattered. Like one of the rules is, that not never have hair tight. It's not the right way. So in Shika is dealing with an auspicious type. So, and here he's got all his hair scattered. And it's things are nothing inauspicious apparently. So Alankritasya, which is decorating his face, was that wavy hair which is decorating his face. Yudituraga Rajo Vidhumra. Vidhumra means it has become grayish, like the ashen color. And why is the Lord is not an old man? White hair. Why is the Lord? Why is the hair grayish? Because Yuditurago Rajo, Raja means dust, and Turago means horse. Yudi on the battlefield. So due to the dust being raised by the horse's hoof, and this hair is getting into softer on the baby hair by the horse chariot, and all the beasts are four horses there, and all those horses are, from the hoofs. Even when you walk with your Hawaii chappal, you see your pants with the dust. But here, that's the battlefield, and it's dirty with hair, gray color in the battlefield. And because of the speed of his riding, what is Bhishma Dev seeing here? Bhishma Dev is seeing that. Bhishma Dev is seeing that affection or the care Krishna is taking to do what? To protect his devotee Arjuna. He's seeing his Bhaktavatsalya nature towards Arjuna here. And that all that is melting his heart, the dirt on his head. Because this is, see, rasa is subjective. This same feature you go and show the gopis, they're not going to like it. Right? The gopis want Krishna in that young boy form, neatly with cows, neatly combed hair, and having a horn and all these things, and not Hare Krishna. So the rasa is subjective. So he is appreciating this form. The gopis wouldn't have appreciated this form. They would have wanted that Vrindavan Krishna forms, young boy with cows running around, uh, playing, mischief and all these things. So that is Virya Rasa. Every rasa is bringing out a subjective emotional exchange. Here, Bhishma Dev's Virya Rasa is making him appreciate a particular aspect of beauty, which not everyone may appreciate. His mood of chivalry is inspiring him to appreciate that aspect of beauty, which may not be the most attractive form for others. So here again and again, he has Krishna standing next to him, but he's appreciating the Parthasarthi Krishna. These emotional exchanges are very, very deep. I had once said before also in one class here, Vidura, he left and went he left for Tirtha Yatra, pilgrimage, correct? Krishna is right there. Why can't he just go to Krishna's house? But he's going on pilgrimage. What is the best? We all want to be next to Krishna. You see deity greetings, any crowded temple, everyone wants to be first in front of the deity altar. So Krishna is right there. Why can't he go to Krishna? Vidura, he's not going to Krishna. He's going on Tirtha Yatra. See, all these things are the great devotees. They had their, he had his, you can read the Bhagavata for that, he says why. But anyway, so here Krishna standing right next to him and he's meditating on that form of Krishna. Maybe closing his eyes, maybe not, So, and he's appreciating him with ornaments, not of some golden jewelry or diamond krita or anything. And what are the ornaments he's appreciating it? With ash color due to the dust which was raised by the horses. And the hair is moving here and there. And what are the ornaments? There are pearls of sweat. Shramavari. Vari means water. Tejo, Vari, Mridam, Teja, fire, Vari, water. Comes right in the first purport. Now you can go and see why Krishna is saying water and fire in first verse of Bhagavatam. I never understood. So, Tejo, Vari, Shrama. What is Shrama? Effort. He's putting, what effort is he putting? Shrama, when he's endeavor, intense effort, whenever you put any form of Shrama, you're going to sweat, you're going to get water. Shamavari. Shrama, when effort, water is produced due to intense endeavor, sweat. He's seeing that Krishna's face with pearls of sweat of his perspiration. That perspiration, because of his great effort. So what is that great effort he's putting? He's putting great effort to protect Arjuna. He's putting great effort as the chariot driver of his devotee Arjuna. So every single thing he's appreciating, verse by verse, every single thing he's appreciating. And he's observing first. He observed, he's thinking, fondly remembering all those things, and he's appreciating. His ash color hair moving here and there, and that sweat which is adorning his face of Krishna. All of that is the object of appreciation of Bhishma. That is his rasa towards Krishna, Virya rasa. Tvachi vilasat kavache, and whose armor shone brightly. Kavache, the armor shone brightly, and most importantly, Mama Nishita Sharair Vibidhyamana, pierced sharply by my arrows. Bhishma is thinking. That is the form I appreciate. Tvachi vilasat kavache, whose armor shone brightly, pierced by my arrows. Showering arrows at Krishna, that virya rasa, that joy in fighting with Krishna. But it is also seeing, he's also seeing that Krishna is taking those arrows on behalf of Arjuna and protecting him. That Bhakta Vatsalya nature also of Krishna is giving great ecstasy to Bhishma. So actually, in the Nectar of Devotion, on the Virya Rasa section itself, what is chivalry? What is the Virya Rasa? I just took 2 paragraphs. It's a big chapter. So when on account of love and devotional service for the Lord, there is special valorous enthusiasm The resultant activities are called chivalrous. These chivalrous activities can be manifested in the acts of fighting, giving charity, showing mercy, and executing religious principles. Actually, even giving charity, dana virya, it's called. Even that is considered virya, chivalrous activity. To give something from this pocket here, heart will pain. So it's in virya rasa. Giving charity is in virya rasa. You need some virya, guts to give. Showing mercy, that also requires virya. Because usually we show mercy to ourselves, not to others first. We show compassion on ourselves, not to others. So, showing mercy and executing religious principles, and even to take up the process of dharma requires virya, it requires conviction, it requires confidence. Sometimes when we cannot follow Shastra, we bring Shastra to our level. That is not the way. They take all the context. How can, I'm I'm in this level. I'll bring the Shastra to my level and can explain later more. Our thing is we have to climb up the Shastra through our sadhana, not bring Shastra to our level. Anyway, so by performing chivalrous activities and fighting, one is called Yuddha Veera. Okay, and then the chapter goes on to talk about all the devotees Krishna had a fight with, beginning with Sudama. He had a fight even with Sudama, Sri Rama, and then he had fights with Arjuna, all these things. And then we have also seen in the Bhagavatam, Krishna had a fight with Jambavan and so many other devotees he fought with. Because in these chivalrous activities, this Virya Rasa, only Krishna's friends can be his opponents. Krishna's enemies can never actually be his opponents. This is given in the Nectar of Devotion. You can refer to that. So in these chivalrous activities, Krishna fights only with his devotees. He wants to exchange that rasa, the fighting rasa. Krishna's enemies can never actually be his opponents. So if you see in Mahabharata and all this, Krishna mainly, he never killed Duryodhana. Duryodhana was killed by Bhima. Most of the Dushasana's sons were killed by others, Bhima especially, not Krishna. So all this Bhaktavat, seeing Krishna in this form, is giving him that great pleasure. Yuditu rago rajo vidhum ravishvak kachalulita shramavāri alankratasye mama nishita sharair vibidhyamana tvachivila sat kavache astu Krishna atma. May my mind concentrate on that Krishna, whose face was decorated with hair, covered with the dust raised by horses, tossed all about because of the speed of his driving, and with perspiration, the sweat, because of his great effort in protecting Arjuna, whose armor shone brightly, pierced lightly by my sharp arrows. So Virya Rasa is not some street fight. In this Rasa, Krishna derives pleasure. Just as in love, the man derives happiness. So he gives this explanation that the man derives happiness from the bite marks of his lover. Painful maybe, but when there is love and a particular flavor of love, even that bite is appreciated. And it is very esoteric, pure prema, but I'm going to read from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur himself, the commentary. Having spoken of Krishna's face surrounded by locks of hair, Bhishma cannot give up that sweetness. Again, he describes more details. The face is decorated with hair thrown all about because of the speed of the chariot and colored with the dust raised by the horses. Even in what is not beautiful, beauty can be found. So someone very dirty, see, if someone is a sports freak, cricket sports freak, whatever you want to say, he will love seeing his favorite sports star with full of sweat. If we someone here full of sweat, we are going to say, yes, it's dirty, go have bath and come. Right? So, but here, when a sports person sees his sports champion with sweat and dust and, that whatever dress he's wearing, they admire that because they're in that flavor, that relationship. So here, that's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. Even what is not beautiful, beauty can be found. The face is decorated with the perspiration arising from effort. This indicates Krishna's efforts because of his affection for Arjuna. Krishna's skin was pierced by Bhishma's sharp arrows. Just as the man involved in love derives happiness from the bite marks of a bold lover, Krishna, the most courageous warrior in the mood of fighting, derived pleasure from my strength in the form of wounds from my arrows. One should not think that I, even overcome by the mood of fighting with Krishna, was ever devoid of prema. Similarly, the woman who inflicts deep wounds upon her beloved, dearer than a million of her lives, with her nails and teeth during the battle of love, cannot be said to be devoid of love for him. Krishna's skin was not really pierced, the twacha in skin. Krishna's skin was not really pierced because he was wearing an armor which shone brightly. It means that the arrow slightly pierced the armor, and Atma means mind. So I don't know what is going on in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's heart and mind when he was comparing this to the bite of a lover, but he is just explaining the extent and the depth and the high quality of this emotional exchange, that even that mark is out of pure love, just as a lover bites, his her fiance or whatever. See, to understand this with mundane morality is extremely difficult. How uh, See, for another example is Krishna says a very simple verse, everyone of Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. You offer me food, I will accept it. But Duryodhana offered food to Krishna, he didn't accept. Vidura gave a skin, he ate a skin of the banana tree. Krishna saying, I will accept Patram Pushpam, offer it to me. It's not like Duryodhana went and cooked himself, obviously. He would have had his cooks to cook and the egg come for lunch. But Krishna didn't accept it. Krishna went still to Vidura's house because of his emotional exchange with Vidura. And Vidura is they were so absorbed in that emotional exchange that instead of giving the banana, he's giving the peel, and Krishna joyfully eating it. He is complete. So mundane morality is very, very different. From mundane morality, something may appear right to us, something may appear wrong to us, but spiritual morality is much beyond our senses, because he's Rishikesha, he's Adhokshata, he's the, and Bhishma was put into a position of a family of Adharma, and he was made to be loyal to the family because of his family obligations. He made his obligations and the salt he has eaten there. Bhishma's position, though, is very high, is not very different from us in a certain way, actually. Because we are also in a very sinful life, most of us. We are eating the salt of our employer. It's not like our employer is doing any dharma, activities of dharma. All the employers, they're all engaged in activities of adharma. Whether it's IT work or any work you take, they're all engaged in SAP implementation of cow slaughter companies, tobacco companies, alcohol companies, and we are all helping them. We're all helping IT implementation in such projects. And we are eating their salt. Why? Because family obligation. We have to build our house. We have to build our bed, or whatever we need a vehicle. So we are also in the same position, but still we want to come out of the position. So Bhishma, of course, he was in that position for the Lord's desire. But Vidura was not like that. Vidura spoke up because he was Yamadharmaraj. He spoke up. In every instance, Vidura was the only one who spoke up. When Draupadi was disrobed, he spoke up. Bhishma kept quiet. In when the thing was put on fire, or the Pandavas were trying to be killed, every time Vidura spoke up. And Vidura, he wrote a great book called Vidura Niti, which is much beyond our imagination of how he came up with those moral principles. Vidura Niti. So that's why this Srimad Bhagavata, our Shastra, has to be understood philosophically. It cannot be understood through mundane eyes. It comes Janma Karma Chame Jivin, as Evam Yoveti Tatvataha, Tyaktva De, Evam Yoveti Tatvataha. Our Srimad Bhagavata, or Janma Karma, the activities of Krishna, should be understood Tatvataha, philosophically, scientifically, not with just a material eyes, or just as a story or a Amar Katha. No. If you're seeing every interaction between two devotees, let's say when Vidura met Maitreya, when Brahma prayed to Krishna, the first instruction that was given to them was the first instruction when they responded. When Krishna spoke to Brahma, he spoke to the form of Chatushloki. Maitreya responded to Krishna, Vidura. Vidura first starts asking him this question. Sukaya karmani karoti loko. From that verse he starts. And then next verse is Deva Krishna vimuktasya. They turned away from Krishna. So that time also he also responded. They all responded with the same concept. Eko Narayana Masi, Nacha Brahma, Nacha Shankar. The same thing. That the Supreme Lord existed first. And then how from there it started. So they all start with the concept of Sarga and Visarga. Maitreya or Krishna or even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met with Ramananda Roy or even he met with Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami and all these devotees. They never start with Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. Oh, Krishna did this. Krishna opened his mouth. They all started with Sarga, Visarga. If you see Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, first he starts with Vishnu Shakti Paraprokta. He starts with 8.4 million species. These are the energies, the three energies. So they all start with this concept of Sarga and Visarga because this has to be understood philosophically. Vyasadeva takes 9 cantos to come to the point of 10th canto, the Srimad Bhagavata, Krishna Katha. And then here he also goes on to say that Krishna, he's piercing arrows. But Krishna's body is not material, it is spiritual. Deha Dehi Vibhago Yam Neshware Vidyate Kvachit from the Kurma Purana. That there is no difference between the Deha and Dehi of Krishna, whereas there is a difference for us. There is a difference for us, Deha and Dehi. And he's because whenever he pierces an arrow of Krishna, his body cannot be cut. The Bhagavad Gita says, Nainam chindhanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavataha, na chainam kledayanti apo, na shoshiyati marutaha. Now, that the spirit soul, the spirit can never be cut. So if you see the Bhagavad Gita, 2:12, 2:13, 2:14, all these shlokas, beginning with the great Ramanujacharya, and whose commentary was taken up by Baladev Vidyabhushan, almost like 80%. They talk a lot about Parichinnavada, Pratibindhavada, and all these different philosophical concepts of how the soul cannot be cut. First of all, if you say from an impersonal perspective that there is only the soul, how can something else come and cut it when there is no Ditiya, there is no nothing else? So the soul cannot be cut and we are all not here as cut pieces. So they go on to talk all this extremely philosophically, very, very, very high dense portions, sections of the Bhagavad Gita. And about the reflection, because they take Dehina, Sminyata, Dehina, that's it, one soul, that's it, no other souls. So anyway, we can go on and on about that. But the soul cannot be cut, it cannot be moistened, it cannot be pierced. So we are all not cut pieces of Krishna here. So, and nor can Krishna's body be cut. So in this way, Bhishma Dev continues his prayers. And he continues, and then because Bhishma had this benediction, that he can leave his body at any time he wants. He had that great benediction. And he comes from a great parampara too. And it came to in the 29th shloka, Dharmam pravadatasya sakala pratyupastitaha yo yoginashchanda mrityoho vanchita uttarayana vanchitas uttarayana vanchitaha tu uttarayana. So today is almost near we are in the Shankaranti, which is considered the Uttarayana beginning. The sun, Uttarayana means, according to our Vedic science, the period where the sun moves north. So material scientists say sun never moves, it stays in the center, everything else is moving around it. But according to our Uttarayana and Dakshinayana, the sun makes a movement. The sun now starts its northward travel. He goes up, and around June, he makes his travel go southward to the force of the south, and then he starts his Dakshinayana. And we read in the 8th chapter that Uttarayana is usually very auspicious. Even when you go for a Muhurta, they always prefer Uttarayana. Uttarayana is the time when 6 months when the demigods are awake, it's their daytime. And Dakshinayana is the time when the demigods are sleeping. So now the sun has made his entrance into the Makara Rashi, and then after he goes to the Kataka Rashi, there he starts his northward movement. So Shankranti means basically when the sun moves, and Makara means he's moved to. So Bhishma decides to leave his body around Shankranti. And for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas also, Makara Shankranti is another day to remember, because this is the day when the Mahaprabhu left for sannyas. So I thought we'll read a little about that. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give something which no other avatar, no one else has ever given before. Anarpita charin chirat, karunaya avatirna kalau, samarpayita munnattojala, rasansva bhakti shriyan. Haripurata sundara dyuti kadamba samdeepataha, sada hridaya kandari spuratahu vasakti nandana. Anarpita charin, never before was it given, never before. This concept of rasa, this prema, this pure prema of love. And not only that, I mean, we may find that, this bhakti is a very, very high marga. Oh my God, he has given such high things, this rasa, that rasa, this, it's, even Varnashram is difficult to understand and follow this. And he has talked about so much high things. But the Lord is extremely, extremely, extremely merciful. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, he has given hope for many people like us through the story of Ajamil. If there was a person like Ajamil today in our congregation in Bangalore, there'll be a lot of gossip about him. You know that devotee, he did like this, that person, there'll be a lot of talk. But the Supreme Lord gave him an opportunity just because he took Narayana name. So our Bhakti Marg is very simple that way. We have hope through all these. Bhagavata never does it give anyone lack of hope. We have to understand that the Shastras are that level. And for us to climb to that level is through the process of sadhana. So there is hope that way. So he gave, the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave something which no one else gave. So let me just read this from ISKCON Desire Train here and there. Another significant, so the auspicious day of Makara Shankranti, which falls in the Krishna Paksha of Magha Masa, in the month of January, is considered very auspicious day and marks the entering of the sun into the sign of Capricorn or Makara. Although in ancient times all Shankrantis were observed and celebrated, Makara Shankranti is of special importance, as it also marks the beginning of the auspicious 6th-month period of Uttarayana. The sannyas Tithi of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also the descent of river Ganga on this earthly planet. After the war on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when Bhishma Dev was lying on a bed of arrows and was about to leave his body, at that time he was waiting for the sun to enter into Uttarayana. So he was waiting on a bed of arrows with a lot of pain, as it is considered to be an auspicious time, and therefore it may be understood that he left his body on the auspicious day of Makara Shankranti, while beholding the beautiful face of Lord Krishna in the holy place of Kurukshetra, which is also known as Dharma Kshetra. The glorious day also marks the descent of Mother Ganga on this earthly planet. After the austere penances performed by King Bhagirata, with the aspiration to free his ancestors from the curse of Kapila Rishi, who, at being falsely accused by the 60,000 sons of King Sagara for stealing the sacrificial horse, actually stolen by Indra, cursed them to go to the nether regions. After being pacified by their prayers, he proclaimed that the only way for their salvation would be if the river Ganga would descend from the heavenly planets and come down to earth and up to the nether region. Then, by being purified by her, they shall be freed from the curse. After the austere penances of King Bhagirata, the most purifying Mother Ganga came down to the earth on the day of Makara Shankranti. And this descent of hers is celebrated till today in the form of the Ganga Sagar Mela, when numerous pilgrims go to the Sagar Islands in West Bengal and bathe in the holy confluence of the Ganga with the ocean. Another significant event that took place on this day was the acceptance of the sannyas order of life by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the purpose of preaching and propagating the path of devotional service and delivering all the fallen conditioned souls in this age of Kali. It was on this day that he left behind his widowed mother and young wife in Mayapur in the village of Katwa. I've been to Katwa because they cut his hair. That place became Katwa. He renounced his Grahastha ashram and accepted sannyas from Sri Keshava Bharati, shaving his beautiful locks of hair and donning saffron cloth. Although being the supreme personality of Godhead, one of his opulence is that he is the most renounced. And therefore, there was no need for him to accept the renounced order of sannyas. So he is actually called by our acharyas, beginning with Jiva Goswami in the Sandarbhas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Vishwa Vaishnava Raja, the king of all the Vaishnavas, Vishwa Vaishnava Raja. And Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur actually registered Gaudiya Math as Vishwa Vaishnava Raja Sabha on his same deed. It was just called Gaudiya Math, in his society. Vishwa Vaishnava Raja. There's no need for him to accept the sannyas order, renounce order of sannyas. Yet seeing the fault-finding nature of the people and understanding that he would accept the life of a renunciant, then the general populace would be able to give him proper respect. And refraining from committing offenses at his lotus feet, he decided to take sannyas. Thereafter, he inundated the entire universe with Krishna Bhakti. And it is due to his causeless mercy alone that we are able to today tread the path of devotion under the guidance and following in the footsteps of his followers. So, Anarpita Charinchirad, that verse. May the Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost core of your heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. He has descended in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most elevated mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. This auspicious day also marks the appearance of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Gopal Bhatta Goswami was one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, who were dear associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and were residing in Vraja to fulfill his desire of manifesting the holy pastime places of Shyamasundara and writing transcendental literatures on the sublime topics of bhakti. It comes in the Shad Goswami Astakam. Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno Tadharma Samstapako. Nana Shastra, after researching why Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno, because they were experts in researching all those Shastras. So they put together a wealth of books. Right? So the auspicious, the sublime topics of bhakti. The son of Venkata Bhatta and the nephew of Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati, the author of the masterpiece Sri Vrindavana Mahimamrita, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami stayed with his parents, who were great devotees of the Shri Sampradaya, and served them till they stayed on this planet Earth in accordance with the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave them the instruction there, Jnane Prayasa Mudapasya Namanteva and Tane Stita Shruti Gatam Tanuman Manavi. He gave the Stane Stita, just stay here, engage in Shravan Kirtan, hearing, chanting, listening to Shastra. After the departure of his parents, Gopal Bhatta went to Sri Vrindavan Dham and stayed there in the association of Sri Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Before going to Vrindavan, he went to the Gandaki river, and there 11 Shilas came into his bathing pot while he was taking a dip in the sacred river. Not certain of whether he should take them along with him or not, he put them back in the river. However, when the same Shilas came twice more in his lota, he understood to be the desire of the Lord and that he should worship them. And therefore he took them with him and continued worshipping them while residing under various trees in Vrindavan. Once, when a wealthy devotee came to Vraja and was offering various beautiful clothes and jewelry for the deities of the different Goswamis, and also gave him beautiful ornaments and dresses, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami lamented not being able to beautifully decorate the threefold, bending, gorgeous form of the Lord, as his worshipable Shilas were all round and did not show the divine bodily features of the Lord. Thinking in this way, he went to sleep. And to his utter surprise in the morning, one of the Shilas had transformed into a deity of Tribhanga Lalita Shamasundar, being the combined form of Sri Madan Mohan, Sri Govinda, and Sri Gopinath, with his tapering thighs and lotus feet resembling those of Madan Mohan, his slender waist and broad chest appearing just like that of Govinda, and his lotus face oozing nectar was as splendid as that of Sri Gopinath. Radharamana was exceedingly beautiful and captivating. Seeing the spellbinding form of the Lord, Srila Gopala Bhatta Goswami was overwhelmed with transcendental ecstasy, and along with the other Goswamis, he performed a grand appearance festival of Sri Radharamana, after which he decorated his divine form with the ornaments and clothes that he had received. Indeed, Sri Radharamana had appeared in this most enchanting form just for the pleasure of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, as the desire of his pure devotees is surely fulfilled by the Lord. Srila Gopala Bhatta Goswami authored the Vaishnava Samskara book named Satkriya Saradipika and also assisted Sri Sanatana Goswami with Sri Haribhakti Vilas. After having stayed in Sri Vrindavan Dham for the rest of his present Leelas in this material world, he entered the eternal pastime of Sri Shri Radharamana in the Nikunjas of Sri Dham Vrindavan, where he served them as Sri Gunamanjari, where some Vaishnavas, including Srila Kavikarnapura, the author of Sri Gauragana Desha Deepika, are of the opinion that Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami is Sri Ananga Manjari. There's actually a book, Gauraganesha Deepika, where all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their ontological position or their original position, what it is, has been revealed there. And therefore, he can be understood to be both Sri Gunamanjari and Sri Ananga Manjari. On this auspicious day, we pray to him to bestow his mercy upon us, so that we may develop pure love for Radharamana and all the Vaishnavas. The Krishna Triti and the month of Magha also marks the disappearance of Srila Ramachandra Kaviraj, the disciple of Srinivas Acharya, the dear friend of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Born in the town of Sarajani in the family of Sunanda and Chiranjeev Sen, he was the elder of two brothers who were both great devotees of the Lord. Due to his poetic expertise, he was blessed with the title Kaviraj by Srila Jiva Goswami and other Vaishnavas in Vrindavan, who were all very pleased with his compositions in the glorification of the Lord. May Srila Ramachandra Kaviraj, who is Karuna Manjari in Goloka Vrindavan, shower his Karuna upon us and bless us with Sri Krishna Bhakti. So that is also Makara Sankranti. All these things happen, all these events happen. So it's a day we can remember Lord Chaitanya leaving for sannyas. He left sannyas for our benefit. All of the acharyas did for lokahita, for our benefit, so that we can take up shastras, learn shastra, engage in Shravan Kirtan. We have books to read, we have shastras to understand, and we can engage in sadhana to uplift ourselves through the process given by all these glorious acharyas. So I will just conclude here. If there is any questions, comments, our friend always has a question at the back there. Yes, please. You can speak from there or the mic. Or you can ask your question. But one thing I want to say before you ask the question, these concepts of rasa are very, very, very high, beyond me. I myself am struggling in bhakti. I don't know anything, so you all have to. It's just talk for me. You all have to bless me that I can uplift myself also, and hopefully, in your association, can uplift myself. It's not like I'm sitting here higher than you. So, Hare Krishna. Go ahead, Prabhu. It's online, online. Go ahead. Ah, hmm.
Now, in this background,
Okay.
a wonderful point arises. What is the destination of Bhishma Deva? Is it Goloka Vrindavana? Is it Parthasarthi Loka? And what is our destination where we see Krishna in different forms in the altar? They're named as Radha Vinod or various kinds of descriptions. We devote ourselves to the Lord and pray to them in that particular mood, what we have been tutored into. What's our destination? What is Bhishma Dev's destination? You were saying Krishna, all right. You did mention that he was thinking of Krishna in a different paradigm, but it also the background shloka says that he's looking at Krishna as the Parthasarthi. So within Goloka Vrindavana, is there Parthasarthi Loka or is it elsewhere? So if you could throw some light on that, it would be very nice.
From my understanding, 75% of spiritual world, there is all these different Vaikuntha, Narayana Loka, Ayodhya Loka, then Dwaraka Loka, Mathura Loka, Goloka, Vrindavana. So if he meditated on Dwaraka thing, but more so devotees like Bhishma, I don't think have an aspiration to go to any of those lokas. They want to continuously selflessly serve the Lord. So did he go back to Dwaraka or did he go to do another service? I really don't have the height to do that. I have not seen any pramana which says he went back to Dwaraka or he went back there. But he is situated in Dasya Rasa, so he may be serving in Dasya Rasa in either Dwarakaloka, if the Lord feels he should serve Mathura, he should serve in Mathura. If the Lord feels he should serve in another Bhuloka, he may be serving in another Bhuloka. I can't give I don't have the eyes to see where he exactly is. That's my understanding. And the next one is you asked, what about our fate? I am struggling myself. I don't know how many lifetimes I have to be here. Even if I think of Radha, we know that Radha Sham Sundar, I think, has 8.4 million species of karma and sins. And garbage in my mind that I hope the Lord will give me an opportunity to serve Him somewhere. So, everyone has their own trajectory. Everyone has their own punya karma, papa karma. Everyone has their own purification. If you think of Radha Madan Mohan, will they go there? Maybe. Will they not go there? Maybe not. It's very individual bhakti because this Bhakti Lata beach is also a very individual beach. It's not a common beach for everyone else. So I can come to there.
तो हम बीच में फंस गए.
First thing, that he has to sprout and walk.
We'll conclude with yam yapi smaran bhavan. Okay, and then got smaran. Thank you very much, brother. Anybody else would like to?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, there's an online question. Gunjan Prabhu, he writes that we hear lots of significance about Makar Sankranti from our scriptures, but why this comes on 14th of January according to European?
Because sun moves every time in the middle of the month. Sun's movement is already set. It's not like the moon calendar. It's according to the sun's movement. Every 14th or 15th, sun moves to different Rashi. That's why if you say April 14th or 15th, it moves to Aries, Mesha Rashi, where it is exalted, and that is considered New Year for the Tamil calendar to follow the solar calendar. Some who follow the solar. So that's way it's the transition of the sun from one Rashi to another.
Thank you very much. From your statement only that during that time, both today and today, now all that blood has got drained. Therefore, we are doing all this. So, but that when Vidura had so why is it that Vidura is together that objective against it? Maybe
Yeah, good question. Bhishma had a vow and obligation with his father, which Vidura didn't have. None of this, you know. He had made a promise, whatever it is, I will make sure the king of Putra. And so he had that vow. And Vidura is also Yamadharmaraj. He is, it's in his genes and DNA and his blood to be supplied. But mainly he had that family vow. And
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, there is another question. This is also from Anjan Prabhu. He's asking, we have heard that chanting purifies all old karma. Can we assume that after 20 years, our karma reduced significantly of chanting?
the Bhagavad Gita, there's a shloka. Etai dhamsi samsiddho agnihi bhasmasat kurute arjuna. Jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute arjuna. If you are just loitering around, playing the fool around in the movement, no. Jnanagni sarvakarmani. If you take up to the process of learning Shastra, Sadviddhi, Pranipatena, it comes after that from a proper channel, from the proper books, and not just, few sections here and there. Study thoroughly, then your karma, the process has to be applied correctly. That's why one of the first things I said is a farmer knows the tree very well, what is raw, what is kacha, what is ripe. So similarly, you have to be also a process where you have to know all the fruits in the tree, to know how to go to that highest fruit and why you have to go to the fruit. Then you'll know how to accept the knowledge, how to digest the knowledge, how to apply and the realization. So through the process, you have to go. Only when karmani nirdahati kinchita bhakti bhajam govindamadi pusham tamahanda. So take the process completely, not the partially here and there. And when that is applied, then you can consider this. Not nothing can be blind. The Lord has given you an intelligence. Use it. Use your intelligence and to understand the Shastras, not empirically, but the Avaroha Pantha, which is descending down. But you have to use that. Nothing can be blind. Oh, I did, I should get it. No, it's not. This is the process.
Now I have a question. After a big class, we covered various aspects of that field, like what is the research to do, cover the aspects of each now drawing. So you initially talked about the rasas, and you said that it is not that one rasa is the five rasas, the five rasas. But when we hear, it is sort of how more intimate it is, how more deep it is. So how do we understand?
Yeah, it is, but it's not like the Bhishma will graduate as aspiring for conjugal rasa. It is how Krishna wants to enjoy it. It is a difficult concept for mundane to understand because we always want higher, higher, higher. We are all ambitious. So, it's not like, a corporate career where you are ambitious or something. It is how Krishna wants to enjoy. If he wants me in this as an ant in the house of a devotee, I will take that seva. If he wants me in that position, I will take. So all these creations are by the Lord. It's like how you do something in your house. You want to keep something on the shelf up, or you want to keep something in the. It's like how you want to arrange your house. You want to keep something on a higher shelf. You want to keep something on a lower shelf for your own enjoyment. How you want to arrange out your own house. It's not like this is lower than that or that is lower. It's how he wants to enjoy because he's Bhoktaram Yatna Tapatam Sarvalokamahi is how he enjoys. So we have to see how we can understand all this and serve the Supreme Lord. When we serve, because I use the word ambition, I just want to make another point which I keep making in many classes because I want to share this information. Preaching should always be done out of compassion, not out of ambition. It should be another so this is a message you should take. Preaching should never be done out of an ambition. It should be done out of compassion. And for that compassion, you have to pray for the Lord. So even when the Guru gives us the instruction that I have to preach, it is not for you to preach in a competitive way or it's also to preach with a compassion, to bring about the sense of compassion. So we are not here to be ambitious. We are nobody. We are a mustard seed and a mustard seed. I hope that answers.
Right, sir? Any other question? Oh, should I go?
Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Raja.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I was part of another class. That has been connected. Yes, but then I know when I came here, I saw so many people enjoying and asking questions. So that suggests that the class went very well. And Prabhuji was asking so many online questions. So hope you all enjoyed. This Hari Bol is just in this room. We should have a big Hari Bol. Thank you so much. And so let's have one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Tuesday Radharamana Prabhu. Even on Nityam and Radharamana Prabhu gave to me from Bhagavatam English. And then gave a Kannada translation. What is Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
And we request Prabhu to come more often. Hari Bol. And you all know he does wonderful people. Thank you. Back to the normal announcements. We have one Prasadam sponsor. Prasadam sponsor today. Mahesh Prabhu. Mahesh Prabhu. He's the son of Vasavraj Giri Sagar. Mahesh Prabhu. He's a- So Mahesh Prabhu's father's first death.
his Bhagavata haven't asked for all of you to please pray for me. Let's have one big Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And needless to say, when we see that devotees are engaged, the parents, the partners, we know that Krishna will take care of them. That's how we have been hearing. So needless to say that Bhaktavraj, Guru Sagar Prabhuji will be uh, taken care by the Lordship in all the best ways, spiritual ways, will be guided in their next and next you know, realm so that they serve Sri Radha Vinodji. And Prabhuji, you can collect your prasadam from Sri now on say, oh, thank you. And you all know there's a very upcoming event coming up. You get it? Yeah, yeah, of course. But there is one national event, I would say international event. So last week also, last week we had announced, and you know, Ayodhya. How many of you have visited Ayodhya? Ever been to Ayodhya? I try to go every 2 years. But I extend an invitation to all of you. Not this 22nd January, but anytime when you find time, please visit Ayodhya. I've been visiting long, and it's increasing day by day. And on 22nd of January, we have the Sri Rama Prana Mahamotsav, where Ram Lala will be. So I was privileged to see Ram Lala even before the mosque was just a few months ago. And then now as coming with a live broadcast which will be celebrated and broadcasted in this our ICC from 10 a.m. in the morning, and from 10 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. there will be Kirtan meal. Devotee was telling it's a very wonderful opportunity, and I am pretty sure our speakers are also very involved in doing that for the Kirtan Mela. And there will be a lot of Sri Rama Bhajan, Aarti, and distribution of prasadam. So please don't miss this wonderful opportunity. And we all know that we have been simping stars and like devotees, and especially our neighbors. So if you all come here, you have a wonderful opportunity that day to reach devotees all around the area. So we're very, very fortunate to have on January 22 Sri Ram Prana Pratishtha Mahamaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. We will, now we will go for Jagannath Pratishtha, and just make sure that during classes, one devotee last time reminded me of two important things which I used to do, and a lot of my seniors were sitting here, they know that I used to always remind seniors I used to do this service. Prasadam wastage, we should look at it. You will not believe when the old temple was there before I started this from DPM, some devotees helping around. I used to do this prasadam wastage. We used to even take photographs in the western area. And we saw that when we started announcing, the wastage in prasadam literally became very less. And prasadam is very, very, it's not only that, food particle itself is very, very, mm, so many people in so many countries don't get proper meals. So let's make sure this is prasadam, this is offered to Krishna. So I was reminded, I don't know, somehow some maybe rather Vinodji, one devotee came and said, please announce, don't waste prasadam. Take umpteen number of times, but first glance, you take as much as you can digest. And one another thing is, of course, the mobile phones. Please make sure that your phones, when we are in the temple premises, should always be on the vibration, not on the switch off mode or on the silent mode. So I've just been reminded, God with it.
We have Ekadashi, Putrada Ekadashi. Fasting begins, oh, and the fast breaking will be on the next day, 22nd, 6:46 a.m. to 10:36 a.m. So I can repeat the timings again. 6:46 a.m. to 10:36 a.m. And those who are new in the parampara, just make sure that you break the fast during the fast. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's quickly go down and have the message. We always say a morning with Srila